was doing some sketches to see what might be a cool emblem for our room up here in the top of the barn. So Cindy and I worked together on coming up with this name, and I did these drawings, and Cindy liked the ribbon going up on one side and down on the other. So I've been up here the past couple nights doing some wood burning. And I still have to get the word wine in the middle. It looks about as good on the video as it does in real life. Once I get wine in the middle of there, we'll have our emblem for our upstairs. There's Fabia. Are you beating up all these new sheep? Don't beat up the new sheep, okay? Here, let's unput the power so we don't get shocked. We have to charge that battery. New sheep are very vocal. What'd you say? Couldn't film lifting it and setting it in place because we had to pay attention to what we're doing, and a distraction would be too unsafe, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and take out all those cross beams before we continue. Okay, so we put up 16 more feet of wall. We left it off so that we could drive in here with the trusses more easily. So now it's tougher to drive in because it's most precarious when the truss is way up in the air, and we have to get it up over the wall to drive it over to where it goes. And driving with it way up like that is precarious. So now I'm just, we put up 2 more trusses today and this wall, and I'm gonna go up there and put in bracing to make sure all of it's nice and steady. But it's also so hot that we're taking off a little early. I'm down here where I spread the grass seed the other day, and I do see some tiny little shoots coming up. Let's see if I can see some more. Here's some. Little groups here and there. So there's definitely some grass coming up out here, and I know the sheep will also eat a lot of these leaves of these small plants. I'm just not sure when I'm gonna put them back here because I don't want them tearing up the grass that hasn't had a chance to establish yet. Mr. Cool makes a mini split that you can install yourself. As soon as I found out about that and found out how low the prices were, I got one for Caleb's house, which we'll be installing sometime, not anytime soon. And I got one for Cindy's she shed, and one more, thinking we might do it for Claire's. Eventually we're going to do a container house for Claire. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of those units in our barn upstairs loft room. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it. We're going to pull it out and take a look at it, see how it installs, and look at maybe using that up there. And then one of these projects we'll use something else instead of one of those units. So I've learned a lot about electrical, where I can do a lot of electrical myself. Plumbing, I've learned a lot where I can do a lot of it myself. But HVAC, other than just running some ductwork or something, it's kind of out of bounds. It takes a serious technician. It might take a serious technician to open this box. This gives people a chance to be able to do some HVAC themselves. From what I understand, I haven't watched any of the installation videos yet or anything, but from what I understand, the unit already has the Freon or the coolant in the lines that you're connecting from one part to the other, the outside unit to the inside unit. So once you connect the lines, you release the gas and it's all ready to go. Of course, I mean, you gotta run electricity to it and stuff, but other than buying a window air conditioning unit, it's the closest thing to a real HVAC unit for a house that you can do by yourself. There's the indoor part. It's got the wires already attached to it, and it's 115 volts, so it's the same power you get when you plug into an outlet. I'm positive that this thing needs a dedicated line, though, a dedicated wire that goes straight to a breaker, and that you're not running this alongside a bunch of outlets and plugging in all kinds of things to the same power source. So I'm gonna have to steal one of my dedicated lines and run it to this, I think. I will watch a full video before I get started, but from what I've seen, here's my template that I put on the wall to help me figure out where my bracket, how my bracket's gonna mount to the wall to support this. And it looks like this is a hole you cut out, yeah, a pipe hole that you cut out. So that'll be part of the beginning. So I think I'm gonna put the unit right here in the center of the room. And the outdoor unit, I think I'm gonna put it downstairs next to the tractor. Even though it's inside a closed area, not a closed area, but a covered area, I think it'll work just fine. So I need to get this siding on, this paneling and this paneling to where I can get to where I can install that thing. So I'm over here putting in some insulation, And first thing I'm noticing is I got to get rid of this bird nest. This bird had to have made this whole nest in the last 36 hours. It's really neat. I don't know my birds much, especially by their nests, but this is like a big globe. Sorry, bird, can't live inside the wall. It's a really neat nest.
There's this huge weed wall that's trying to overtake my sweet potatoes and tomatoes, and unfortunately I do not have the upper body strength to deal with this. At least not now. Maybe after another year of farming I'll have big guns. Sheep are watching intently. They're getting ready to move to a new spot and they're anxious to get moving.
Some of these are thorns.
Oh, do you need gloves?
No. We got this all hacked down. That's really gonna help get more light to the garden, help those sweet potatoes grow. That's what's right there in that row. Tomatoes are doing great. All kinds of things are doing well over here. We have some, I can't remember what you call them, snap peas. But we have some of those. They're nice to eat raw. This one has gotten a little too big anyway. So a couple days ago we had a disaster. One of the baby lambs that stayed over at Rico and Monica's house passed away. And through all of our research and figuring everything out, it turns out that these sheep came to us with some parasites, maybe a ringworm or a barber pole worm. So we've given them some medicine. That's what the pink stripe is on her back, is marking her as one of the ones that already got some medicine. So they should do okay now. But it was terrible to find out that these brand new sheep that brand new to us sheep came sick. And since we didn't know, we lost one. We didn't even realize that it was sick. It just wasn't getting up in the morning, and then later in the early afternoon, it wasn't moving at all and had passed away. The next scene that was filmed earlier is when we were giving medicine. And so that lamb is the sister to the one that passed away. And they looked almost exactly the same. So it's really, really sad that such a beautiful little baby sheep is gone now. That one was a ram, so we might have saved it for breeding, or we might have traded it or sold it or something. When I say we, I know we're doing sheep in partnership with Rico and Monica. Even though we own ours and they own theirs, we're still sharing information and sharing the experience and sharing medicine and all those kinds of things.
I have a notebook.
How are you?
You do, but can I use this for
Feeling okay?
notebook?
Like all the time, you won't be able to use it.
It doesn't say to do it more than once.
Can you see yourself?
All the animals when you're done.
It says to do it a couple times a year on anything I read, but it doesn't say that she would need more than one dose right now.
Really?
No.
This is it? Gotcha. And how quickly should we know? We check her tomorrow? Facts and doodles. Isn't this perfect, Isabel?
And chasing sheep again. We're gonna find out how much she weighs and give her some medicine.
All right, good girl.